Listen up, kids. Real gangstas never die. Remember that. XXX Tentacion Ja, you think he was a gangsta? Nope. He died. Real gangstas never die. You know why? Because real gangstas don't commit crimes. Real gangsters pay their taxes and go to church. Real gangsters are good to their families and friends and are honestly good-natured to all people and do not commit violent acts. Be a real gangsta, all right?
Welcome back to That Was Mint, the only podcast streamed directly from a cabin in Wyoming. Can
you believe it? I looked on the list. There's no one else on it. We're the only one.
Really?
It was like top 10 podcasts filmed from a cabin in Wyoming, and they had blank spaces, and then number one was us.
I feel like we've kind of cornered the market on that, though. No?
Hey, it's free publicity. I mean, eat it up.
True.
So, as you see, we've completely single-handedly annihilated TikTok.
Got rid of it.
You're welcome.
I mean, we showed up, what? We show up one episode, and TikTok gone as it's being filmed. Like, if that's not
What's
true...
next? YouTube? No, we can't just
We can't shut down YouTube. We're on it.
What are we shutting down?
We could shut down... what's that one app where you pay celebrities? Cameo?
Oh, that's stupid.
We could shut that down.
Let's
Did you
shut
see like
that
some of the
down.
prices on Cameo?
No.
You could pay like Sean Payton, who's the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. It's literally like $700.
They need money that bad?
No, no. He's coached the Saints for like
But why do they
over a
charge-
decade.
Yeah.
It's because people are so like, oh, I gotta get Sean Payton to say happy birthday to my cousin.
It's just gross.
It is gross. It's disgusting. Well, as we do with the podcast, I guess we haven't done it in a while, but we like to go over what we watched and listened to on the last podcast. And as is tradition with the podcast, Ethan did not watch the movie.
Hey, but to be fair, it's like 2 days between.
It's true. Well, it's been like a week since we filmed.
Yeah, it's been a busy.
It's been less than a week. It has been a busy week, in all fairness. I'm going to move the mic around, and I hope that doesn't create a lot more sound than I think it
I
will.
mean, to be fair, I've listened to parts of Plastic Beach already, so I'm already
Music, you already said.
Kinda-
That's I figured like,
kind of
oh,
fan.
you'll pick a. Well, I watched your movie and I listened to your album.
What movie?
Your movie was Tales from Earthsea.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, not a fan.
I think it was okay.
Hey, what's up?
I think it was a lot of really interesting ideas,
Yeah.
and I just really wasn't attached to much of it. And I was looking at it later. I guess it's based on
You got the book 3 vibes.
Well, I don't know anything about the books,
Yeah,
but
well,
it's based on a book series, right?
Yeah. Well, it's technically the 3rd book, so
Okay.
technically 2 books before that with stuff.
That's my thing. Is I was like, I feel like this is a bigger world, and I just wished I cared about it a little more.
Yeah.
And it was also kind of like, I don't know. I'm not like, there has to be action, but like when you put a dragon on the front cover of your movie, I'm like, oh, this movie's going to be pretty cool. And there was like, it's kind of cool.
You would at least find the touching moments or the deep moments.
I thought a couple of them were good. When she started singing for like 4 minutes, that was a little,
Yeah. No.
I was like, okay, all right, she's still singing. But again, like all Ghibli films, it looked amazing.
Yeah.
It sounded amazing.
Cheech.
Cheech is, I forgot that was Cheech until halfway through. I was like, that's Cheech Marin. Hey, little kid, we're going to put you back in slavery. Oh, Willem Dafoe.
We're gonna make you a slave, kid.
I forgot that was Cheech. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just a fantasy hound, so.
Yeah, I was like, Ethan probably really likes this because you really like. It's not a dig or anything, but like you really like worlds and you really like, ooh, I'm gonna explore like the.
I also love being confused and not knowing what the heck is going on.
Fair enough.
My favorite feeling.
Fair enough. And I listened to Ego by Ja Khalib. Most of it. I didn't listen to the whole. Didn't listen.
Not knowing what the heck is going on.
I don't know what he's talking about, but he's got some good songs on there.
Yeah.
Sound pretty good. It's not my favorite thing I've heard all year, but like I'd listen to it again.
Yeah.
It's like maybe like I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things like maybe I got to listen to it a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be obsessed with him in a week.
You should check out the music video for Medina.
Okay.
Put that. You could just spell it like that.
Is he like a good video guy? Because
yeah.
there's some bands like and musicians that are like, I'm like Oliver Tree we were talking about. You remember that? We were like, he's like really big into video.
No, he has really good videos.
Interesting. Well, that was my recap, and then you already listened to the album, and Election was your movie.
Election. Which AM?
It's on Prime. Yeah.
What is it?
It's on Prime.
Hey,
it should be.
Prime.
Yeah. It's a banger of a movie.
I mean, Plastic Beach.
Welcome to the world of the Plastic Beach. Dude,
That song.
You can't go wrong with the Gorillaz, honestly, until you can.
And then of course, on Melancholy Hill. That's just a song. That's what I've heard it a lot, but still goes, still gets it, still gets you right where it gets you.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's good stuff. I like Empire Ants a lot.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's like that one doesn't get talked about enough. And Rhinestone Eyes is great.
Okay, yeah, I heard that one too. Yeah,
there's some good ones on there.
Yeah, there's definitely. I feel like I've heard like the best of that album.
That's kind of how I feel. Like I revisit it and I'm like, there's some good stuff on here, but I really only stick to the same few songs.
Yeah, the solid ones.
Yeah. Well, what do we got this week? What's on the? We added something. We have the Electric Dolphin here. We have a new book, The Gathering Storm.
Yeah, the storm. It's gathering.
And we got a new animal friend.
It's basically it's about clouds, and kind of how they interface in a society.
Mm-hmm.
The people that doesn't even happen in the book. There's no people in it. I don't know why there's people on the cover. It's kind of dumb.
Oh, it's just
about clouds
literally
and
about
like
clouds?
water vapor and some electricity sometimes.
Oh.
There's a storm.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like that Pixar short.
Oh, really? I'm not familiar with the Pixar shorts.
There's a Pixar short where there's a cloud, I think. I don't remember, really.
Yeah, then there's this guy.
What are we naming him? What's he?
Fitzroy?
Fitzroy? Fitzroy.
Fitzroy.
Fitzroy
for short.
The fawn.
Fitzroy the fawn. Oh.
I think he's a fawn. He kind of looks like an antler.
An antler, yes.
What's the thing with the antlers? What is this animal? No. You know, like
it's like an antelope.
An antelope, that's it. So Fitzroy the antelope.
Fitzroy the antelope.
Tight. Well, what do you got for us this week?
Oh, what do we got?
You had some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I got some stuff to talk about.
You were stark raving mad when we were
raving mad.
When we were what were we doing? We were cleaning up the sink of our cabin.
Yeah.
You were going on this tirade.
Oh yeah.
Tirade.
Okay. Justin, I can't help but smile these days. All this cancel culture stuff, man, I'm loving it. At first I was like, man, not him or not her. And now I'm just like, get him.
Get rid of him. Who's the one maybe?
Like, I won't participate, but like, dude, George R. Martin got slammed. And I was like...
Because he didn't write the books or because...
No, for just things he said.
Oh, interesting.
So I guess he was at some like sci-fi... Oh, he was at the Hugo Awards? So he's hosting it virtually. And I guess... I don't know, you mentioned like Lovecraft and some other like dude that's like... was I guess confirmed racist. I guess he was just kind of like praising these dudes a bit. Yeah. And it was like, I get it. It's like, it is kind of 2020, bro. Like, you kind of got to know that like Lovecraft isn't really the move.
Yeah, that's tough. Like when you're like in a, was it saying like, oh, these I look up to them, kind of thing, or was it?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Well, anyway, I mean, yeah, you do have to.
If what I read was to be correct, you mentioned it more than once, which is like, like, really? If you mentioned it once, I'd be like, hey, whatever. But
yeah, I could see how multiple mentions of that might be a little.
I mean, I don't get mad if someone mentions H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, I don't get mad.
I don't care.
I don't really get mad when anybody mentions anything.
But I don't like him, so I'm just like, burn, baby.
Fair enough. Well, he made Cthulhu, didn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't that like his main thing?
Yeah. He was just like a scared man. And so he obviously made very good horror.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, and he was scared about irrational things, obviously, like other people, like, other races.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just a scared dude. Like, he's not like some freaking devil,
Oh,
like
yeah,
a demon
yeah.
or something. He's just some scared guy.
Mm.
Like sometimes people make a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of overreact.
It's like if you cared about him, just don't talk about him.
Well, that's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
We just don't talk about something. Never. That's the thing, like, if something is a stupid idea, just don't do it. Like, what's so hard about that? That's what I wanted to talk about. I forgot to talk about this last week.
Life lessons.
What?
I was just doing a little jingle.
Well, what did you say?
Life lessons.
Oh, life lessons.
Life lessons.
I couldn't tell. I thought you were like, not Glasgow.
Not Glasgow.
Not Glasgow.
Not Glasgow. Life lessons.
Oh, no. Hey, that's why I got that green one up earlier.
Hey, that's what we're talking. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, just like...
Don't do stupid.
You know what? I think
Dumb.
parents need to maybe tell their kids just straight to their face. I think they just need to be like, hey, just don't be stupid. And that sounds like too simple. They're like maybe mean, and it probably is. But I think, not enough kids, I think today that I've seen, a lot of kids are just like, I'll just do whatever. And like, I don't know. Like you need a lot of like
discipline.
Even adults now, they're like, I'll just not think about what I do and then do it and then be surprised when there's like a thing, a response to it or something.
Yeah. I got an example of that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video the other day. This dude's walking up. Oh, there's a grizzly bear right there.
Mm-hmm.
He pokes it. It turns around and it mauls them. I was honestly just kind of like,
that's literally
literally
poking a bear. Like
you poke a bear with a stick, you die. Oh, for the Vine, for the TikTok. Oh, I gotta get the views. I want to go viral.
Too much clout chasing nowadays.
And like it's just infectious,
Yeah.
It's not, and sometimes it's not even people's fault. That's the thing. It's kind of saddening and disheartening. It's not your fault. It's just the fact you've been ensnared by this like app that's been designed to get you addicted to it, get you to live your life around it, to care about it more than anything else.
Yeah. That's why I hate like influencers. Could you imagine like being called?
Well, they don't think.
Well, I know they don't. They don't. That's what I think.
Because they don't have anything.
I know. My thing there leads into a bunch of different topics, but I guess influencers is where we'll take it. Because I don't know, they're just like, hey, look at me, and it's just all it's very false, and I feel like it's knowingly very false.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can be fake and they don't. Maybe they subconsciously do it, but then like if you call them out on it, they're like, oh shoot, like maybe I am being a little bit fake. But these guys are like, nope, that is how I am. And I'm fine with it. I've stumped him.
It just doesn't make. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just explain to me like this, like this hype house. All right.
Okay.
I know these kids. How does that work? How do a bunch of like kids that are like not adults just like
I don't know.
dip out their parents and just
Mom, I became TikTok famous. Rest in
TikTok
peace.
famous. I'm living on my own. Bye, Mom.
With a bunch of people my age.
Yeah, it's just it
who are like
sense.
Not good influences at all.
And it's like you're 16. You're not on your own age.
I don't know.
Especially in this society, like I feel like years ago it could have been like at 18. You could get your kid out of the house and be like, go make something of yourself, and they could. But I feel like the world has changed to such a point where it's like,
I feel like agents and like, people like representing a lot of people who are like internet famous, they're kind of the grossest people of all because they're like, oh, you got to build up your brand.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to like
clout.
yeah, you gotta do these things, and maybe these kids. I don't know how much of it is their fault. It's got to be some of their fault.
They
But
want it.
they clearly want it, but like it's on them to, again, just don't be stupid. Like think for a second. Be like, hey, is this an actually good idea? Do I really want to do this? Like, is this really good?
Think of who you're asking. You're asking like cavemen, basically. People that literally live like animals, like these influencers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say this from like a moral perspective. They don't have restrictions. They just indulge.
Yeah.
They don't have any self-control. They don't have any discipline. If anything, and this isn't even like a religious thing. I could even say this is like a Bushido type thing. Like
Yeah.
we read about Bushido. So it's just about self-control, discipline,
Mm-hmm.
doing things and thinking about why you do them. Why am I polite?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you just want to leave avenues open with people.
Yeah.
You want to be a person that's positive.
Well, yeah. There's not a lot of introspection going on.
No.
Anywhere. It's not. There's
Extrospection.
There's a lot of extrospection.
Extrospection going on.
People don't stop and look at themselves and are like,
Yeah.
should I make any changes? No, I'm fine. And then if you have people like agents and everybody, you live around people your age who are just like, yeah, you're doing great. You're killing it. Like, okay, I guess I don't got to change them.
And what even is the, I don't know, it's like the, who do you become,
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you become this caricature that you like kind of create of yourself, or like this?
It's weird.
I feel like a lot of like this, even like not even big social media stars, like people with like, even like small followers, you hear stories about people just like really dissatisfied with life and just really just like, wow, it's just like, it's not all it chalked up to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's our depressing talk on
Influencers.
influence. But hey, it's not banned yet, but I don't think, is it officially banned? Is TikTok officially banned? Because Instagram's like rolling out some new fake TikTok like hybrid thing they're doing. Like
Pretty soon, right?
Like today, like it came out.
Oh,
Like Instagram was like, here's our new thing. It's basically TikTok, but it's on Instagram. So like,
yes.
I feel that now all the companies are gonna hop on that because they're thinking it's gone, which is just sad. It's happy for the end of TikTok, but it's sad that people are like, I'll just keep doing it.
It's just, hey, who knows what's gonna happen? Hey, at least we're in Wyoming, right?
We are in Wyoming, so I think there's not many TikTok influencers in Wyoming.
No.
That I know of.
Garth Brooks. he lives over in that shed over in
Clancy's
that's
right.
Forest.
We've driven and passed it in Clancy's Forest a couple times. He's got the chimney made of seashells.
Yeah. Very strange, man.
It's an interesting architectural design. Hey, did you hear about that new Zendaya movie they made?
I saw it.
Like a thing.
I was
kinda
like, oh,
interesting.
okay, interesting.
It's kind of cool.
Did you watch it?
No, well, it's not out yet.
Oh.
But like, just like that they made a whole movie during like May, basically.
Yeah. No, that's pretty lit.
It's kind of cool.
It's pretty
like
dope.
that they were able to do that.
I love Zendaya. Love me some Zendaya.
Gotta love some Zendaya.
She's gonna be in Dune. She's gonna be my princess.
Speaking of Dune, Dune trailer's coming out pretty soon. I hope.
Just you can't talk about the Dune trailer in front of me.
You haven't even seen it yet.
I know.
Apparently, she like called Timothée Chalamet to tell him he should be proud after just watching the trailer. I'm like, what kind of like? I don't doubt that it's good. He's a great actor, and it looks pretty great. But like what? Like you got congratulated after like just the trailer? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Was he pulling like crazy acting in just the trailer? I guess.
I mean, it's weird. It's like I'm excited, but it's not like I have like high expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I just like really like Dune,
Yeah.
As long as the movie they make is like Dune in some way or another, like I don't really care what they do.
As long as it's accurate to Dune.
Not even real. I just want to watch some Dune stuff.
It's fair.
Made by Denis Villeneuve.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
the
if
boy
he
right
changed
there.
something, I'd be like, I read the book. I can read the book if I wanted to see that part. I don't know. I could read the. I just want to enjoy it for what it is, and it's Dune. I love Dune.
Dune.
Like, is there anything wrong with that? Really, just being like, I like this. Screw all that. I'm just gonna watch it and like it.
No, I think it's fine. I get on people for, when it's like, I liked it. Why'd you like it? I liked it. But like, that's kind of valid,
Yeah.
I think it's more the reverse when you're like,
That just means you were just kind of idly there. You
yeah.
didn't really pay attention.
Or when it's like a great movie and they're like, I didn't really like it. And you're like, why? Because I just didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's got to be a little more reason.
This is more like if I saw a sandworm on the big screen, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah. Or if it's something like that.
Just like.
It's more like if I was to show you like, what's like a really like divisive movie that. I don't know. Like there's certain movies that like I can understand if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But I'm always interested when I really like something.
Stuff I could show you. Like I could show you Earthsea. Like
Yeah.
I don't expect people to like every Ghibli movie like I do.
No, yeah. But like if I showed Back to the Future to somebody, that's my favorite movie ever.
Yeah.
And they were like, I didn't like it. I'd be like, what? I'd really be interested. I'd be like, well, what didn't you like about it? It's kind of tough when the answer is just like, I don't know. That wasn't
interesting.
I feel like that's one of those movies that kind of everybody likes.
Yeah. Well, also, why not listen to someone's critique of it? You just get a different perspective. You get more. That's enjoyable. You get more content. I don't know, more context and.
I like listening to other people's opinion on things. I just wish, there was an actual opinion sometimes on things. Whatever.
I feel like I am opinionated. I just like a lot of stuff. And I don't know if that's because I like a lot of stuff or I've just really gotten good at just only consuming things that I'm going to like. Like I really just set myself up for success like 99 out of 100 times.
That's what I've noticed. I really don't ever seek out any movie if I don't think it's going to be pretty good. Especially old movies. If it's been out for a while. And I look it up and I'm like, oh, this movie, people really didn't like it? Okay, then I probably won't like it either. Usually people are right when it comes to consensus. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes they're very wrong.
Sometimes. But there's a few times when they're glaringly wrong.
The Shining was bad, said every audience member when it came out.
Did they?
Yeah, people hated The Shining.
What? That movie's so good.
I know. Doesn't make sense. People hated like 2001 when it came out.
That was like kind of the first horror movie I like sat through all the way.
The Shining is really
so that's
great.
An important movie for me.
It's one of the scariest horror movies.
It is.
And it's really like
it holds up.
It's really like you kind of look at it when I think about it. I'm like, I guess that's when I'm watching it, I'm like, this isn't really scary. I don't think. Like as I was watching it, but it's just one of those movies that sticks with you for a while.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's unsettling. And
well, it actually like evokes something in you. A lot of horror movies
it's like
they don't bring anything in you. There's a jump scare, but they don't.
It's like candy.
They don't make you scared.
You're just like, oh, all right, nice little some candy. Spook.
Like I'll walk home in the dark. I watch The Conjuring. I'm like, I'll walk home in the dark.
It's like a roller coaster almost. Like a theme park. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, here we go. All right, we're done. And then like maybe you go on the roller coaster again a couple times if it was like really fun. But for the most part, it's just like, all right, it's just a little bit of a thrill for a couple minutes.
The Babadook, bro. That roller coaster hasn't ended to the
roller coaster didn't stop.
It's still going.
I don't know. I've seen it. Oh man, the Babadook. That was
a spooker, man.
That was a big spooker. I think
The Witch, that was a good one. That was a spooker.
The Witch is great. I love The Witch.
It Follows, another spooky-rooney.
Mm-hmm.
What else did the Witch guy do? He did something.
The Lighthouse.
Ooh.
Big boy time.
Big boy movie.
Willem Dafoe.
What a fine actor, huh?
What a fine Robert Pattinson.
Oh, Robert Pattinson. Isn't he in something? He's gonna be in something, isn't he?
He's gonna be in Tenet.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, the boy.
I love Pattinson. And And he's gonna be in Batman.
I know, and I'm
He's
excited.
great.
Like, I swear.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about James Gunn's new Suicide Squad movie?
James Gunn is making a Suicide Squad movie?
He's making it. It's called
his, I really don't like whoever is Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not of her, just like that, her character.
Of Harley Quinn. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I haven't seen Birds of Prey yet, or whatever her new movie is, and I don't know that I want to.
Like, I'm a big fan of, like, the animated Harley Quinn. She wasn't like a...
Well, it sounds like this new Suicide Squad James Gunn's making is gonna have like King Shark and like all these like actual Suicide Squad members that are fun and
so Suicide Squad members, maybe more obscure.
Maybe
kind of what Guardians of the Galaxy did, you know, because they were kind of more obscure team.
I mean, like I hate the first Suicide Squad, and I'm not alone in that. A lot of people hate that first Suicide Squad, but when I heard James Gunn was doing another one, I was like, well, I didn't like the first Suicide Squad, but James Gunn made the Guardians.
Wait, is
movies.
it the same cast though? At all?
Margot Robbie's in it, but it's like a bunch of new people. John Cena's in it.
Dude, you can't do that to me. I literally watched. I watched Blockers exclusively because John Cena was in that movie.
We went to go see Blockers in theaters, and like
you can't tell him this. This is like.
I mean, no, we didn't.
This is a sin.
It's one of our greatest shames.
One of our greatest shames.
I figured no one can get to us because we're in Wyoming.
It was like, what was it? It was strange. It was like surreal.
It literally, I don't think it happened. Did it happen?
I don't know.
Did we both collectively dream that we saw that movie?
It was just surreal. I was just like, what is this? What?
Yeah.
Why are we watching this
story
unfold? Because
John Cena's in that movie.
My daughter can't have sex at the prom. I gotta go save her.
I guess not. And then just stops.
Jeez Louise. But I think that was, and that's the sad thing, was that was like the best thing that was out at that time.
That's why because we were like, we gotta see a movie. We have to. And we were like, there's nothing but Blockers. They're like, I guess we're watching.
Blockers are like, it's like Jane Eyre. And I'm like, oh no.
I was about to watch Jane Eyre.
Not Jane Eyre.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But anyway, the new Suicide Squad is John Cena in it. And the trailer's coming out or new info's coming out like later this month. I didn't know if you heard anything about it. Fair enough.
No.
I'm going to sneak down to the ground because I'm going to check the timer on the camera.
Oh, okay. I'll just get into the next topic then.
Yeah.
I'll just blow on in. All right, kids. I know how you guys like facts and, stuff. So, I'd like you to take a journey with me about 20,000 years ago, right? Ooh, that's a long time, Ethan. Ooh.
That's too far back. I got to ask my mom if I can go any further back than that.
All right, call her real quick.
Yeah.
All right, 20,000 years. Perchance you have any ideas, Justin, about like what might have been like popping?
Hold on. Okay, we're good. I'd go that far back.
All right, cool. With 10,000, we're gonna keep.
All right, I don't know what was popping.
All right, what's popping is basically. Now, I guess I would presuppose this with dates in his history, like time frames. They can be tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can be kind of like loosey McGoosey, or not loosey, but they could be frustrating, especially when you're comparing it with maybe like documents. People could have been on a different date system. They could have been like thinking about stuff like. Anyway, 20,000 years ago, there's this ice age going on. We know that.
Ray Romano was in that.
What? Anyway, there's this big ice age basically happened, or this short period of ice, and then a bunch of like meteors came down, messed everything up. Basically, kaboom! You know, like a very cataclysmic event, you might call it, right?
Yeah.
This is called it's called the Lower Dryas event, right?
Okay.
And this event, you know, caused mass flooding, amongst other things. You know, other volcanic activity. You know, crazy stuff like apocalypse, end of the world type movie stuff. And the interesting thing about this event, right, is after this event is the until recently, you know, we thought what the oldest civilization was Babylon,
Pretty much, I think.
which is about like
That sounds right.
around 10,000
Yeah.
or like 8, 9, whatever. Basically, up in Turkey, they found this place called Göbekli Tepe, right?
Göbekli Tepe?
Göbekli Tepe in Turkey.
Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
Tight.
It's 20,000 years old.
Really?
Yeah, and it seems like this place just popped up right after this Dryas event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, ooh, you know, like that's pretty crazy, you know, like so did some people survive this cataclysmic event? And then you think about just think about like general lores, you know, things people you know, just like leave in general. Like one thing that comes to mind is Atlantis, right? Oh, the city's sinking in the sea, big bad event. What else comes to Noah's Ark, big flood, big cataclysm.
So we might have found Atlantis, or we found evidence of it.
No, more like, oh, this is like evidence of this big thing happened.
Yeah.
That kind of like wiped humans and like pushed the restart button, which got me thinking. You know, like, all right, so like, did we have like some like, because like I don't know, we get a little biblical here. If you for the audience at home, when they're talking about the Tower of Babel and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this. If they're saying like, you know, they built the tower to heaven, first of all, like they probably had to have advanced technology to build the tower that big.
Well, did they finish the tower? I forget. They didn't
I don't
finish
know if
it.
they finished, but I feel like they got it to like a scale to where like
It was tall.
it was tall, you know? But also like if you're trying to make a tower to heaven, are they really trying to make a tower like with our knowledge like to space? What if they're trying to make like an interdimensional like warp tower to like warp to where heaven is? Because it's obviously not manifested in the physical realm of reality.
So
I'm thinking, you know, could like what if even like, you know, these ancient times, you know, advanced technology basically before, like in ancient times, that got wiped out. Think about the Bible in that context. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Like, what if we think it's all just like dudes in sandals and robes, but they're really
But
like
it's like Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, like literally. Whoa, that'd be nuts. Anyway, so that's my little rabbit hole of thought.
Interesting.
Mystery and
That could be cool. I think that I like, you know, we were talking about ghosts last time. I like to entertain fun ideas.
I was just spurred on. I read a book recently. Graham Hancock. What's the book? I just noticed the Göbekli Tepe book by Graham Hancock.
I'm not going to say the name again. It's not going to happen again. I'm afraid not. Man. Can you believe people still watch the news?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I still do.
I mean,
not really.
What classifies as the news?
Like, I'm talking like a traditional news broadcast with some anchors and a weather guy.
Yeah, if people just pop that on and like leave it on, it's like you're lost.
Yeah. I mean, I've had days like that, you know, just empty days where I'm like, I don't watch it, you know what I mean? But I'll like have it on for a little bit.
The news?
Yeah, like
I don't go on the TV.
During quarantine, where I'm like, I have nothing to do all day. and I don't particularly like want to watch anything, but let me turn on the news.
So you've experimented with the news, and you're like, you don't like it.
I've experimented, and I'm like, I guess this is fine for like 5 minutes. And I feel like older people who maybe don't have any streaming services or things,
Yeah,
sure, you know, but
it's definitely toxic. Very toxic.
it's very like, it's just like tiring. Like, I don't want to watch all these. All the stories are pretty depressing, except the morning news, where it's like, today we're going to bring in Cheryl, and she's going to cook us some
Starship cookies.
some Starship cookies. And that's it. And I'm like, well, okay, so I either get nothing in the news or like the news.
The news.
I don't know.
You know what a great commentary on the news is? The Anchorman. Like a surprisingly like pointed kind of media commentary, I feel.
I haven't seen Anchorman. Oh, I've seen clips from Anchorman.
Well, yeah. Well,
like everybody. But
you wouldn't expect, right? From what the clips you've seen?
no, I was like, this is probably a okay Will Ferrell comedy. It's probably got some gems in it.
Well, I do like the idea. The movie's like the kind of the idea behind it. It's like the news is going. It's kind of like it's satirizing kind of the evolution of news from the news was on like an hour on this one channel, like
Yeah.
like 7 to like all day news, 24-hour news,
And there's different
news, and then
Yeah.
like growing and growing, and how it's like become kind of this like bloated, ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but like,
Yeah,
that's one that's been on the watch list for a while, and I've just not gotten around to it.
I think you'd appreciate it now too.
It's kind of like, you know, something like Monty Python or whatever, where like I've seen so much of it, I've just never actually seen it.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I do get around to seeing it, I'll be like, all right, I recognize most of this, but now I can say I've actually seen it. Well, I feel like we should make this should be our brand. The Electric Dolphin.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think it's like a good.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has a copyright to this.
That's what I'm thinking. 'Cause there's no brand on it. It's just
Yeah,
like
it's just
it's
a
just
thing.
a dolphin that
It's probably
looks
just from a Guitar Center or something.
probably. I don't know where it was purchased.
Cool desk lamp thing.
Yeah, it's just a dolphin. What's the
Whoever
weather?
made it didn't care enough to put a logo on it. Doubt they cared enough to patent it.
Yeah, maybe there was a logo and it was taken off, or there's no logo inscribed on it. So I feel like you're probably safe,
You're safe.
unless we get sued by some company.
Some multi-million-dollar conglomerate.
Play-Doh.
Plato?
No, Plato.
John Plato?
Yeah, Plato. The what's the word? The
Plato
guy that thought about
Didn't
stuff.
Plato talk about Atlantis?
Plato.
No, that
Probably.
was Homer. Homer was talking about Atlantis.
Merch.
Merch.
Let's go to Atlantis, merch.
That sunk under the sea thousands of years. Oh, homie.
Atlantis.
Do you want to get into recommends for next week?
Let's get into some recommends for next week.
What do you got? Big dog,
Large puppy.
big wog, big man.
What was that last one?
You know what? I know what I will recommend for a film.
Yeah.
Anchorman.
There we go.
Yes.
All right, I'll take it.
Banger.
Anchorman. I've heard of this film. What about in the music world?
In the music department? Well, I don't know, Justin. What's I don't know, what's Justin's?
I'm into some. I want to get some kind of give me some upbeat stuff.
Upbeat?
Yeah, give me some.
What do you mean by
Give me
upbeat?
some stuff I'm gonna feel good when I listen to.
You're gonna feel good?
Yeah.
Like what kind of good? Okay, actually.
I don't know
I
how
got
to
something.
describe it. I don't know.
Sample Moods by Cherokee.
Sample Moods by Cherokee. Okay. Hope I spelled that right. Cool. What kind of music is that?
Like you said.
Just stuff that makes me feel good.
Yeah, you're just
Fair
gonna
enough.
feel good.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I got some good recommends this week for you. You're aware of the film. This is Spinal Tap, correct?
Yeah.
And they made a bunch of other movies like that.
What was the last week's called?
The last one? Oh, last week's movie? It was Election.
Election. I like it.
Not The Election, because that's a movie with Zach Galifianakis.
All right. Yes, I do remember Spinal Tap.
And they made
11.
Yeah, and they made movies like Best in Show, stuff like that. They made a whole slew of those.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished
Looking for
Waiting for Guffman.
Waiting for Guffman.
I just finished going through all of those, and I gotta say, their film A Mighty Wind.
A Mighty Wind.
A Mighty Wind is really great.
Which one is that? I feel like
You might have seen it. I don't know.
no. I
but
feel like I'm like aware of most of them. Which
A
one
Mighty
was that?
Wind is the one about folk music.
Okay. Wait, I might have seen a trailer or something.
Maybe
Wait, what's like the general premise?
it's these old folk bands reuniting to do a big concert in honor of this guy that was like a manager of all the folk bands.
Okay, okay, that sounds.
It's
interesting.
slaps.
The Big Wind, or what was it?
A Mighty Wind.
A Mighty Wind.
It's got all the funniest boys in it. And it's like Inside Llewyn Davis, but with jokes. Just because it's about folk
Dewey
music.
Cox.
So Dewey Cox. Yeah. No, but like it's a lot like Spinal Tap in that they wrote a bunch of songs for it, and they're like actually great songs. And
That's always fun.
and like I'm always a fan.
Sex farm.
That's right. That's one of their songs. But like, I'm always a fan of things like Spinal Tap or whatever, where like they're not just funny. Like, wow, that's really creative. Like that they're able to
they're,
write
like, talented.
and perform stuff. And there's a ton of that in this. So I was a big fan. And then my album is This Is Happening by
This is happening.
This Is Happening by LCD Sound System.
This is America.
This is America. This is a dolphin.
LCD sound system.
Yeah, This Is Happening.
This is happening.
It is fantastic. It's got
Wait.
some
Do I already have one of these songs saved?
maybe. That's the opening song, Dance Yourself Clean, which is like it's so great. You got to hear
It might. Well, it says it's downloaded.
the album,
No, just this one song.
just the first one.
Yeah.
You might have heard it. That's the one. That's one of their more like known
Mm.
songs. I feel like, but the rest of the album is just a lot of. It's a lot of dance. It's really in the style of like Talking Heads,
Okay.
where it's kind of like a bunch of musicians just kind of just doing their thing, and it sounds really great. And I've been listening to it a lot, so that's my album. My album.
Your album.
It's my album for the week. Well, boys and girls,
Any closing remarks of
my closing remarks today are don't come to Schusterville, Wyoming.
Don't come to Schusterville or we'll get you.
I'll get you. And go watch something new this week. You know, if you find yourself on the couch like about to rewatch something maybe you've seen a bunch of times, you know, like, oh, I got an hour, I'm gonna watch some shows I've already seen.
Watch The Office.
Let's watch The Office again for the 12th time, please. If you find yourself in that, just like stop yourself, just go watch something new, you know,
Or read a book.
or read a book.
Holy moly, you could read a book. You know, you could learn a thing if you read a book. It happens.
You could learn a couple things if you picked up a book.
You might
once
even
in a while.
change your mind about a few things.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just like you don't have to know anything about it, you know. Just like
Yeah, just
pop it open, see if it sounds interesting, and then do it.
and pick something interesting to you, like a movie or. Because that's one thing. It can be hard. I feel like some people feel like they're so. People are kind of people pleasy. They can be like, oh, but I have all these things that all these other people are telling me to watch and to do, and it's like their whole list. everything they think of is just things other people want them to
Yeah,
watch
you
and
can go.
enjoy. And it's like, you just go for something different. No one's even seen. No one's gonna buy you about. Just watch it for you.
Yeah.
Read it for you.
Yeah.
Experience it.
Don't give into that peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
You see the pier, you start to walk off of it because you feel pressure. Don't.
If all your friends walked off a cliff, would you? Yes.
Dude, if that cliff
Because
landed,
I'd be
if that,
lonely
wait,
with
hold
my
up.
friends.
Hold up. If at the bottom of the cliff, it was a sick bounce house,
Psych, mom.
I might
Idiot.
have to jump
I
off.
have to, mom. Honestly.
Well, that's our podcast. I don't know. Do you
It's
have
our
any
podcast.
closing?
Good closing remarks.
I had one. I figured, right, comment equality.
What would you say?
I had a comment, so I figured I'd see if you had one.
Yeah. I mean, closing comments.
Whoa.
Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Real gangsters, they never die. Be a gangster.
Whoa.
Hey, wait, I explained. Gangsters go to church, pay their taxes.
Okay. Sorry, that was like 3 hours ago. I'm really tired.
And we have already established that our fans are total gangsters.
They're absolutely real gangsters.
You're the realest gangsters. Might I say the illest gangsters?
You might even say the illest gangsters.
Illest. Maybe.
Maybe. Possibly.
We might have to go back to the lab on that one.
Possibly.
Maybe if we get a like on this video. You're the illest fans.
Oh, we gotta do a thumbnail. We gotta do a clickbait thumbnail. Not a clickbait thumbnail, just like a regular thumbnail.
Oh, okay. Is it stopped now?
Well, I'm just gonna.
Okay, you'll cut this in.
Well, no, I won't cut it out. It's part of the episode.
Oh, well. With thumbnails?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's clickbait, so.
There it is. Perfect. No one's gonna. If you're listening to this on just audio, then sorry.
Sorry.
Just imagine what we were doing there. Or I guess, I don't know. You have YouTube. I know you do.
That's a good thumbnail. Does it look like I'm floating?
Yes, actually. Very much. Well, that's our podcast.
Wait, we're still going? I put
Yeah.
my shoe on.
Okay. It's our cabin. You can do whatever you want. Say goodbye to the electric dolphin before you leave. Give him a little pat. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Not here, though.
Not here.
In an
Wait,
undisclosed
are we-
location.
Oh. Okay, bye.